Hey, welcome to The Explainer. This week, it feels like the AI world just dropped a whole new toolkit on us. We're talking about models that can go from writing code to, literally doing cartwheels. So let's just dive right in and see what this stuff can actually do.
But let's start with a big what if. What if there was a single AI that could write code, build an entire slide deck for you, and go toe-to-toe with the best models out there? And what if it was all completely free?
Well, that's pretty much the promise of this new model called GLM 4.5. And we're not talking about some tiny incremental update here. This feels like a real leap forward, especially because it's an open weight model, which basically means anyone can get their hands on it and use it.
Okay, so to really get why this is a huge deal, you got to understand the two main camps in AI right now. You've got the big, proprietary, closed-off models like GPT-4 and Claude 3. They're amazing, they set the standard, but they're locked behind company doors. Then you have the open-weight models, which are out there for everyone. And what's so exciting here is that GLM 4.5 is in that second group, but it's putting up numbers that compete with the titans.
But here's the party trick that really got my attention. It can research and build a whole professional-looking presentation from just one sentence. So, to really put it through its paces, somebody gave it this hilarious kind of out-there prompt. Make a slide deck arguing that birds aren't real.
And this is not just spitting out text. This is what's called an agentic process. It's like having your own little research assistant that you can just set loose. It hits the web, reads through different sources, finds the right pictures, and then pieces together the final slide deck all on its own.
And you know what? The results are, honestly, they're pretty mind-blowing. The slides look good, the images actually make sense, and it even nails the funny, conspiratorial tone of the whole thing with gems like this one. I mean, this is worlds away from the kind of boring, text-on-a-white background stuff we've seen from other models.
But it's not just a designer, it's a coder too. Someone gave it this one-line prompt: create a clone of Vampire Survivors in JavaScript, and it spit out a complete, playable game you can run in your browser. Think about that. One sentence, a single prompt, and bam, you've got a working game. That's just wild.
And you know, this whole idea of creating something really complex from just a simple command, that's a theme we're seeing pop up everywhere. The next big frontier isn't just making things from scratch, it's editing reality itself. And nowhere is that more obvious than in video, with new tools that let you change what you see with just your words.
Okay, check this out. It's a perfect little face-off. Two tools, Runway and Luma Labs, got the exact same weird prompt: put a Top Gun pilot in space with an alien spaceship. Runway got the pilot into space, but no spaceship. Luma, on the other hand, nailed it. Pilot, space, and an alien ship. It just shows you how fast this space is moving.
But let's be real here. The tech is still, a bit wonky sometimes. On one hand, it can perfectly replace babies with a giant sandwich, which is amazing. But on the other hand, you ask it to do something simple like a man chopping a tree, and you get this surreal, kinda nightmarish mess. So yeah, it's powerful, but it's definitely not perfect yet.
And this just shows how weird and unpredictable progress can be. Google's video model Veo developed what's called an emergent ability. Basically, a skill that nobody programmed into it. It just figured out on its own how to read text written directly on an image, and then use that text as a command for the video.
Wild. And look, that brings up a good point. Using these tools, it's not always a walk in the park. Midjourney just rolled out a new feature for setting start and end frames in a video. But as you can see from this quote, even for people who use this stuff all the time, it can be a real struggle to get it to do what you want. It's a good reminder there's still a learning curve.
All right, so let's switch gears a bit. We've talked about video, now let's talk about static images in 3D. We're talking about tools that are making super high-level photo editing and 3D creation available to, well, pretty much anyone. You don't need complicated software anymore. All you need is your face and a good idea.
So take this new feature from Ideogram, for example. The process is so simple. You literally upload one single photo of your face, not dozens, just one, pick any scene you want and use a magic fill tool to drop your character right in. That used to be a super complicated process.
And the results? Well, suddenly, you can be anywhere. You can stick yourself in that famous Oscars selfie. You can even put yourself in the room signing the Declaration of Independence. It's like one-click photobombing through all of history.
So that's images, but what about making 3D stuff from scratch? Well, a tool called Meshify is basically becoming your one-stop shop for all things 3D. You can generate a 3D model from text, from an image, or you can even have the AI add super realistic textures to a model you already have.
So for the chest, someone asked it to make a 3D pizza, with the works. And the result was, honestly, it's shockingly good. I mean, just look at the texture on that. For something made from just a few words, it's one of the most impressive things I've seen.
Okay, so all of this stuff we've just talked about, it really brings us to what's coming next, what's just over the horizon. Let's do a quick rapid-fire round of some other huge news that shows just how fast this whole field is rocketing forward. All right, hang on, because this all happened in just the last week or so. Microsoft's Edge browser is getting agent-like features. A company called Fable says it wants to be the Netflix of AI and just generate entire TV shows. A really good AI video model was just made free for everybody for a week. Oh, and an OpenAI agent just casually tricked to prove you're not a robot test. I mean, the pace is it's absolutely relentless.
And all this AI, it's not just going to live on our screens forever, right? It's starting to move into the real physical world. And let's be honest, what's the holy grail for a lot of us? A robot that finally does the laundry.
So think a humanoid robot is just sci-fi fantasy? Well, you can soon buy this one, the Unitree R1, for $5,900. Now, okay, that's still a ton of money. But for a humanoid robot that can do cartwheels and handstands, that price is actually kind of shocking. It's way lower than you'd think. So that kind of leaves us with one big question. We've got AI writing our code, editing our videos, building our 3D worlds, and now even making a start on our chores. What do you think is next? What's the very next everyday task we're going to hand over?